Okay, so we have a ship and the ship has coordinates, obviously. Okay, so all the other objects will also have coordinates, so they have that in common. So let's create a base class for them. So let's start with the folder base classes, and in that folder we will add a new file called objectbase.cs. Okay, and we let the ship class inherit from that new object base, and then we move the coordinates to the object base. We also it's a good idea to create an entity. So for the coordinates, so let's create an entity folder, and in that we'll create a new file, chord entity, and that entity will only contain the x and y coordinates for a certain object. So let's add that to the constructor, int x, int y. And we create two properties, x and y, with only get methods. And that's it. That's our chord entity. Of course, we need to set them also, based on the parameters we're sending with the constructor. Back to the ship. Okay, so now we can delete the x and y integers, and in the constructor we call the base method, and we send a new chord entity with init x and init y, our initial coordinates for the ship when the game starts. Okay, we need another parenthesis. Okay. Okay, and let's add that to the object base constructor. It will take a chord entity, coordinate. And in object base, we'll create an chord entity coordinate with an underscore, and that will be protected. In the constructor, we set the underscore coordinate equals the coordinate, and now it's stored. Likely, we'll find other things that the enemy ship and UFO have in common, which will end up here in the future. Okay, let's create a console base. We also know that we need to set colors, go to certain coordinates, and write things in all the objects. So let's create console base. And in here we'll create three methods. Let's start with @ public void @, and the @ method will take a coordinate entity and the string that we want to write on that coordinate. Console, set cursor position to coordinate x and coordinate y, and then we just do console write str to print the string on the screen. Okay, and then we need a public void set color. Sometimes we just need to set the color. The set color function will take a console color and we just do console for color equals color. Finally, we create a public void @color, which does the same as the function, except that it also takes a color. Okay, set color, color. We already have a color function. We use the at function to go to the specific coordinate and write the string. Okay, and we're done with the console base for now. So we know that the ship needs to inherit the console base, that is the object base inherits the console base. The game class will also need the console base because we'll write things such as level completed and other things in this class. Okay, and okay, we need to delete the x and y init things because they don't exist anymore. And we compile. Okay, we have one error. Of course, we don't have the x and y variables anymore. Instead, we have the underscore coordinates dot x in our object base class and the underscore coordinate y. Okay, so let's compile. And it's still working. Now we have prepared our game for further development.